Do you have any cakes?
Hi guys, and happy Wednesday. It is your favorite day of the week. We are live in real time here at the Social Media Shows studio. As always, we come here every single week and we introduce you to amazing people within the city that have to do with arts, entertainment, politics, entrepreneurship, and all of the above. We meet some amazing, motivating, and very inspiring people here every single week, and it's always a surprise to see who we're going to have. Because as we build all of our shows and all of our television programs up, we get to meet more and more amazing people as our reach gets larger and larger, not just within this amazing city of Las Vegas, but also in the whole entire country. So as always, we always have a theme that goes around every single week, whether it be politics or whether it be writers, all these different types of people that come and go, and it's so interesting to learn what they do and why they do what they do. But today's theme, we're going to have two amazing artists, two amazing performers with very, very big, vivacious personalities, and I cannot wait to introduce you to them. Both of them have never been on my show before, but I know that they're not a stranger to the camera, so it's going to be absolutely amazing to have them sit here and talk about what they do and what keeps them pushing here in the amazing city of Las Vegas and on the west coast of the United States. So grab your drinks, grab your snacks, grab your lunch, and make sure you don't miss our amazing two interviews coming up. So I'll see you after this break.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
Welcome to Social Media Shows. Have you been watching social media shows recently? Of course you have. We have been live streaming for 4 years across social media platforms. We produce over 70 shows with over 1,000 episodes. In the process, we've helped over 100 creators realize their dreams and start their own show. We give platforms to promote your business. If you are an artist, if you have an event, if you are entrepreneurs, or if you have a story. If you haven't done it yet, go ahead and subscribe and follow us on major social media platforms. And if you have a great idea of a show, join us. Social media shows can help you produce and live stream your own show. Let us help you make your dream become a reality.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Hot Seat. We are live in real time here at the Social Media Shows studio. You're watching your favorite show at 3 p.m. As always, I promise we're going to have an amazing interview today. We have two guests, and our first guest is a master at so many different things. He is in the perfect city for what he does. He manages, he's working at the nightlife, he's emceeing, he's doing entertainment, he's opening up his own agency, he does shows, he sings, just an all-around marketing specialist and entertainer, which is definitely perfect for Las Vegas. So everyone, please welcome JC Lopez. Hello, welcome to the show. Oh, I just noticed your stone, your necklace.
Oh yes, it's
Absolutely.
my amethyst piece, and it waves off that negative energy.
Oh, great. I love that. Yeah, you won't find that here.
Exactly.
So thank you for being on the show. It's
Thank
the first
you.
time meeting. So I'm glad. I love meeting people on the show. It's the best thing about it.
Yeah,
Is that new
like,
people come in
imagine.
and you network while we're on TV, which I'm sure you love. So you originally are from California, right? You've moved around, and you've
Everywhere.
only recently called Vegas home within less than a decade that you've been
Yes,
here.
yes. It's
right?
almost 9 years, yeah.
Yeah.
I started off running a marketing firm here, and that's why I moved here. Start sales, marketing, worked with Sam's, Costco, did a bunch of stuff. And then after 5 years, I said, I miss entertainment. I wasn't singing, I wasn't performing, I wasn't producing, and I've been doing that my whole life. Since 18, I've been running a theater company, managing the arts, just being out there. And for a while, I loved it. And it was kind of its own art form. You know, I was always speaking at conferences. I was being that motivational speaker. And it was great. But I needed the stage. I needed the limelight of singing and producing and working in the industry. So I closed down that, launched an entertainment company. A month later, COVID happened.
Yeah, that's called Relentless Entertainment. I want to
Yes,
that out
yes,
there
yes.
to everybody. But I did hear, because within my research, I did hear you quote one thing, that you're all about starting small and just kind of growing, which is definitely something Las Vegas does. So what really inspired you to do an entertainment agency, especially when you took a break from entertainment and you kind of just jumped into that? What sparked that?
I'm really good at giving people a chance. There's a lot of people that want to be a singer, be an actor, be a drag queen, be in the arts. And there's not a lot of places that give the chance to people who are disenfranchised, who never had the opportunity, who never even tried it. So I wanted to give an opportunity to that. Meanwhile, also being able to give further avenues to the professionals. So kind of literally from the bottom all the way to the top, and just give them everything that they can. Vegas is great because there's a lot of entertainment. It's the city of entertainment, but there's not a lot of local spots that somebody can just say, hey, you know what? I'm like 20 something. I'm a really good singer, but I just want to be in a show. So I said, I want to build that local capacity, because back in LA, I would say, hey, I'm doing a show. Here's an audition notice on Craigslist back in the day.
Yeah.
And I would have 50 people lined up. I've tried that here and had like nobody.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting. There's no local vibe. A lot of people here are brought from all over the States to be on the Strip, to be in shows on Fremont, to be models, to be actors, to be dancers. So I wanted to give a chance to the locals here in Las Vegas to shine. And that's why I started the company. And like I said, at first it was through COVID digital. I started with a lot of entertainment shows online on YouTube. Then when Vegas opened back up, I did a lot of DJ gigs. I did a lot of things on the Strip, Fremont, and I gave a chance to people who had never been on the Strip or on Fremont, a chance to be seen by hundreds of tourists every single day. So that was really my biggest dream, just to give people like me, when I was younger, a chance to say, I just want to try it and shine. And now I see people on TV, on American Idol, on RuPaul's Drag Race, on things like that started off just with a tiny little show and a little dive bar are now up in lights. And that's my favorite thing about producing an entertainment company. It allows others to shine.
Yeah, because I know your resume, you yourself also perform. You know, The Cat's Meow was one of them, like Hamburger Mary's was one of them. And it's like live entertainment while people are there drinking and they're eating and they're just kind of having the experience of Vegas, right? Just having a great time. And people don't understand that with that comes reading rooms and like being able to interact with whoever comes in the door. It's not like a set show.
Exactly.
So you come from a theater background, though, right? So
Correct.
you had studied in England too, and you did musicals. And so was there kind of a correlation where you're just like, okay, I'm going to go from that stage to kind of more of an improv, more very
Yes,
like
MC life.
vivacious, yeah, just very like in your face type of personal. It's very personal.
It was
theater.
being in Vegas. I mean, Vegas. I consider myself kind of like a like if Mario Lopez mixed with like Jay Leno mixed with Cher, like
And Adam
Lambert, of course. I get that comparison.
You know, great personality, yeah.
So I figured, you know, because here, especially nowadays, there used to be a lot of musical theater in Vegas. There used to be a lot of theater shows, plays, musicals. Well, now it's a lot of residencies, nightclubs, DJs. So I kind of just wanted to keep up, you know? So I said, you know what, let me try the nightlife. So I went from, you know, being booked for a gig where I was a singer, classically trained, Broadway, to can you keep a crowd going in a nightclub? And that was a huge jump for me because I was not an upbeat guy. I mean, I kind of still aren't now. I love power ballads. I love drama, theater, you know?
Yeah.
So when they said, we love your power ballads, but can you give us something a little bit more upbeat? I started learning, you know, Gaga and Britney and, you know, upbeats, just really fun, vivacious type of performances. And mixed with my just natural energy as an MC, I was able to really kind of hit it off in Vegas. And I've been really proud of some of the huge gigs that I've had, whether it be, you know, hosting a red carpet fashion event, hosting drag shows all around the city, hosting singer showcases. I'm hosting the Yachty Girls on Saturday, and that's really great. That a little show that we built from the back room of the Nerd to now the Ahern, you know, right by the Strat.
Yeah.
And it's been so fun, and I'm very versatile in the sense of whatever the gig is, from corporate to nightclub. I've been able to just step in and have a lot of fun. And I don't consider myself the most amazing singer in the world, but they keep wanting me to sing, so I must be doing something right.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you brought up something that I was just about to jump to. So, Day, you know, you're a beverage manager at Virgin Hotel, which congratulations, you're managing so many different, you know, bars and within Virgin Hotels, and it's a very popular hotel with a lot of the young people coming in for the clubs and the restaurants. But then you're also doing, you know, this crazy upbeat nightlife, but also going into character. So how do you find the balance? Is there like a switch that you do, or do you kind of have two different JCs?
Well, what's funny is I'm a psycho. I mean, Gemini.
Yeah.
So what's funny is that there is kind of two JCs.
There you go.
I'm very introverted,
Yeah.
believe it or not. Where if I'm at home, I just want to play video games. I'm quiet. I just want to chill, relax. But when I'm on stage, it's a whole other person, and he just comes out, and he's very natural. It's very pop in, pop out whenever I want. I see it at Virgin sometimes, where I'm, you know, beverage manager, director, and then as soon as I need to, I say, but I'm also an entertainer.
Yeah.
And it's fun that I get to be this executive person, but also have kind of like a alter ego, you know? So it's really nice. And lucky for me, they know that. So they want me to do entertainment at some point too. So my knock on wood, in the next few months, I'll hopefully be doing entertainment there. And then all these people who have supported me over the last few years everywhere else, I can bring to Virgin too.
Right, so they can see the versatility and the duality, because that's Vegas in general. And it's the only city you could do that at. Like, I don't think anywhere else you can, like, be corporate, have this great LinkedIn, and, like, be the head of all these places, and then all of a sudden you're doing this. And
sing
like,
on the side.
You know, with, like, your shirt off, and you got glitter and a little, you know, tights on.
Yeah.
But how is it, would you say, for you, you know, doing all of these things and holding the confidence and then still being able to be like, I can be both? Does it ever drain you in a way where you feel like, oh my God, I feel like I have to be this at work, because you don't want to be too comfortable with your staff.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
you still want to be respected. You don't want to be seen like, oh yeah, he's fun.
Yeah.
I've seen him, you know, at night.
Yeah.
And then at night, you know, you have your different types of people that you're leading, especially if there are people from your agency.
Trying to get respect.
You know, you're trying to gain the boss, but also being seen as someone that's like still marketing yourself,
Professional,
because you're
yeah.
still an actor. You're still out there
Exactly.
marketing you as an entertainer. You don't want to throw that away.
Yeah.
And I think the hardest thing for a lot of artists here is to have that balance and not be overshadowed by, okay, now you're helping so many people. Now everyone forgets that you're also doing that as well.
Absolutely.
So do you ever just feel kind of like...
I feel
you know?
the arts give me the energy to keep going. I always say, if somebody came up to me today and said, hey, you know, we'll make you a millionaire just to perform, I would immediately drop everything and go,
Yeah.
right? But obviously in reality, especially with the life nowadays, the economy, you know, maybe 40 years ago when, you know, things, even with inflation, like things were, you know, a little bit cheaper back then. And it was a little bit easier to be a starving artist back in the day, right? Nowadays, it's a little bit harder. Things are, just to have a one-bedroom apartment. So having a professional life, it's kind of necessary for a lot of people to be able to survive and just kind of live. But the arts are the thing that keep me going. Whether it be behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, it gives me a new air to just keep going and push. And I try not to lose myself in the sense of, I'm still an artist. I want to. I've never created original songs. I still want to do that at some point. I want to record music. I've never done that, believe it or not. And all the connections I've had in life, because I've been mostly theater, which is a completely different world. So I've had to learn how to sing softer and lighter, just in case one day I get asked, hey, I want you to record a song. I've done all types of stages, but I've never done professional like Broadway theater. So if that happens, well, can I drop my life to do 8 shows a week? The answer is probably, right? So I've always prepared myself for whatever comes, I'm ready for it. And I'm never type of person to say no because it's hard. I know it's going to be hard, especially entertainment. I mean, for every 10 auditions or pitches you give out, whether it be behind the scenes or front of the scenes, you're going to get 9 no's out of 1 yes. So for me, it's always kind of they say don't lose your day job until your business really sets off. And that's kind of what I consider it. I feel like for last, 18 years, I've said, okay, what if I make it as a performer? And I was like, okay, I'm good. But I feel like where I really thrive is running a business. So now I'm older. People are starting to say, oh, wow, he's had a huge resume. He knows what he's doing. Let's follow him. So I said, you know what? I feel like my huge entertainment lift will come in my 40s. And I'm 36 now. So I said, I'm kind of almost there where something's going to happen, whether it be corporate entertainment, whether it be my own company, whether it be something where I'll be able to run and help people and build people and live the dream that I've always had, but also make a lot of money from it and not have to be the starving artist.
Right.
So I've been very lucky. I've been very honored to have had such an amazing professional life, meanwhile also doing the entertainment. But 100 hours a week can be draining. But all I need a week is maybe one solid power ballad somewhere, whether it be karaoke or a stage or something, and I feel like I get a freshness of I remember what I'm doing this for, so it makes me want to keep going.
Art refuels you.
Absolutely.
Basically.
It's my gasoline for life.
Yeah. So this isn't a controversial question that a lot of actors specifically are on two different sides. And I think it depends on whether or not you've done it or not. And you have. So you've actually classically trained as a singer. You've actually done acting in some way, whether it be theater instead of film. The same thing. In a training sense, in a training form, prior to just jumping into professional and trying to just become an actor. Do you think that going to school and having, because I know that wasn't the primary thing that you did, but it was part of it, so you did have some training. Do you think that kind of has helped you see the arts in a more professional way versus some people think that it doesn't matter?
Right.
I'm
all about, I always tell people on the business side, I talked to somebody 2 days ago and they said, I want to do fashion. So I feel like I need to go to fashion school to learn fashion. And my first question was, well, what do you want to do in fashion? Exactly. And the answer was, I don't know. So I said, okay, then school is maybe for you. It gives you a little bit of everything, a little sample of every aspect of fashion. But the thing is, once you pick what you really want to get into, get an internship. You might have to work for free for a year or two, who knows? But that experience is just priceless. Because school can only teach you so much. Because essentially nowadays, there's not a lot of trade schools. Like I always tell people, I was like, you're better off going to ITT Tech and getting a trade than going to school for 5 years because you might not learn much. So I'm kind of in the sense of like when it comes to the arts, if you know what you want to do, go for it. Experience is going to be your number one way of really becoming a pro at what you do. But if you just kind of want to see what you're doing, then maybe go to school. It's more of a let's figure stuff out rather than let me master. Because sometimes, sitting in a room, learning about history of theater,
Right.
learning about, history of music. It's great, but things from the 1700s aren't going to help your voice.
Right.
Help your piano skills. You can learn all about Beethoven, but it's not like getting on a piano and just playing 5 notes here, 5 notes here, putting it together. So it's really about just figuring out first what you want to do, and then just putting 100% of your effort on just getting experience.
Yeah, because if you don't know what realm of music, whether you want to be a composer, whether you want to be someone who just does musicals, or there are many realms that you can't focus on one profession.
Absolutely.
Whereas I've noticed a lot, and you might be able to disagree, Vegas is so, let's take any opportunity and then act in comparison to people who actually train for a very, very long time. Right? And so do you ever see, when you're dealing with an entertainment agency, so many different personalities where you feel like you have to kind of calm down the scene in a way, how do I say this, where you got to humble everyone.
Tone it down.
For the city, because Las
Yeah.
Vegas, like you mentioned, is very different in comparison. We're talking about New York, we're talking about Broadway, talking about Chicago theaters, right? We're talking about LA, or like the comic scene.
Yes.
Right here, those scenes are not the same. And since you doing nightlife, I'd love to get your perspective on the type of people and how you deal with having your own agency and being able to be honest and say, this job would be good for you because, but this one will not. I know that's what you want, right? So how do you deal with that adversity and all those different
Absolutely. I mean, Vegas, it's a city of transient people, whether it be the people that live here or the people that visit. In any one show that I have people from 20 states minimum, from another 5 countries. So you really can't be the one trick pony. If all I did was Broadway, I wouldn't have many gigs here in town because there's not a very big Broadway pool here.
Right.
But when I say, I'm Broadway trained, which means I can sing well, but let me sing I Will Survive for this disco loving older crowd. Or let me do crooners. I did crooners. So we got Best of Las Vegas 2021. And I went from Broadway and nightlife to suit and a glass and singing That's Life, Frank Sinatra. You have to cater to your crowd. So being such a diverse crowd here in Las Vegas, someone has to be versatile and say, hey, this is what I've always done, but this is what they want. So how do I get in here? And it's just getting out of their comfort zone. A lot of people say, this is what I'm good at, this is what I'm going to stick to. And many people have done well with that in the past. But nowadays, people lose interest. Their attention span is like 10 seconds. So, I mean, you have people even like Cher and artists like that say, hey, you know what? I'm going to try ABBA. I'm going to try electric music. I'm going to try, using autotune on the song. And then she did When You Believe, and that lifted her off with the new generation. So if people here in Vegas are not willing to go outside of what they think people want and just try new things, they're going to struggle. Because Vegas is a city of everything. In just one show, I'll go from, upscale, like upbeat pop to a Broadway power ballad and wrap it all up with some sort of like mashup. They love creativity and different. And if you dress sparkly and have amazing outfits, you catch their eye.
Yeah.
And if you don't change that, then you're going to lose their interest. So even in one show, you have to use different outfits. You have to try different genres. You have to try different energies, because Vegas, it's a very diverse crowd. We're in, LA, New York, places like that. If you're doing Broadway, you need to be a pro at Broadway because they're there for Broadway.
Right.
They don't want to see a nightclub act on the Broadway stage.
Right.
They want Broadway.
Yeah.
But then if you go to a nightclub, they want nightclub and go-go dancers and productions, lights, fog. So somebody here has to be accustomed to all those things in one show. So it's a lot. And that's why a lot of people struggle in Vegas. But if somebody's willing to go outside their comfort zone a little bit, I promise it works out for the best here.
So you also do emceeing, you also do hosting. You do have a show where you interview drag queens, right?
Dragon singers,
Okay,
yes.
okay, that's what I think. So how long has that been going on, and what is that experience like? What was the motivation behind doing that show, apart from separate? Because that's now you're doing film version, and then you're
Yes.
sitting down, you're talking to people
Whole new
who
world.
also do live entertainment,
Yes.
right? And which is a different style of entertainment. That's a lot of work behind there. So much respect to the drag queens. They are
Yes, it's a
fabulous.
lot.
Like it's a lot of work. Like I
Oh
have
my gosh,
friends
yes.
that do that, and I'm like, oh my god,
It's
the
a
money
lot.
and the rehearsing behind all of that
Yes.
is a lot. So tell us a little about that show, and is that an active thing? You're doing it often?
Yeah. So I started off with the first season. I mostly focused on drag for the first part, and I'm going to kind of move into singers. But again, it was a chance to get local entertainers a chance to shine. There's some amazing local talent with drag queens, singers, who don't get a chance to really get out there in the limelight. You know, there are some amazing opportunities like RuPaul's Drag Race and The Voice and American Idol. But as we all know, as much as yes, there's some amazing singers there, they look for a specific story. They look for the sob story. They look for this and that. And there's a lot of people that are very talented that don't get a chance to get on things like that. Maybe because they don't look the part. Maybe because they just don't know where to go. They haven't had the opportunity. So I wanted a chance to just sit them down and show the world they're here. You know, let them promote what they're doing, let them promote themselves, their story, and show people that, you know, it takes a lot of work to get to where somebody's at. Somebody might look like 100%, but it took a lot of struggle, a lot of sacrifice to get there. And I wanted to give that opportunity. So Dragon Singers is a chance for me to take people that I see in the community and put them out there for the world. And of course, you know, I don't have 1 billion followers. I don't have 1 million followers. I don't have that just yet. But regardless, those few hundred that see it now get a chance to say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go to that club and watch them perform. And then they have a new fan. They have somebody else that they can follow. Meanwhile, also learning about 5, 6 other entertainers. So hosting that, same with venues. There's a lot of cool venues here in town that just don't really get the limelight, or maybe have a little bit of older management. So that's why I did Relentless Entertainment Live, kind of side by side with that, to be kind of the way of promoting local venues that aren't on the Strip, that aren't just on Fremont, and give them a chance to say, hey, they exist here in town. Come check them out. You know, they might be struggling a little bit. So, hey, give them a chance, build them up. And I've had a huge... I've had very positive reactions saying, hey, you know, I didn't even know they existed. So I checked them out and I love them, or I went to go see their performance and they're incredible. I normally stick to things I see on TV and go see them, but now I'm following the local crowd.
Yeah.
And they deserve that
Yeah.
that fame and acclaim, you know, a little spotlight for them.
Of course.
They work very hard, but because they're not on TV, they don't get it. So it's my chance to get them on TV and give them that chance to say, hey, here's my episode. I was on the show. The guy's, interviews a bunch of famous people, and here I am. And let me shine,
In my experience being a host, you learn a lot about people, right? And you learn a lot about different industries, regardless if that's what you do or not. You know, what is something that you've taken from stepping back as the entertainer and always being in the spotlight to just talking to somebody about themselves? What have you taken from that?
There's so many different types of stories, and like I said, on TV and things like that, they cater to a lot of that, but it's almost a little bit dramatized, right? Sometimes someone doesn't have to say, oh my gosh, I almost died to be here.
Right.
They can say, hey, I just struggled for a while, but now here I am and I worked hard. And there's so many cool stories out there, and people just don't get a chance to really get it out there. And sometimes they don't want to. They're scared of putting themselves out there, showing their vulnerability. And I've seen that when they do that, they become more confident. Yeah. Because it's almost like they put their past to the side and then just say, hey, let's put it aside and just go for it, because they know they're probably going to struggle again. But it's shown me that people still have that life, that old school, I got to fight till I make it. It's still there. Even though most people think it's died and that it's all manufactured nowadays. It kind of appears that way because TV and social media is so heavy.
Right,
yes. But the fire is still there, and I love that. The old school, let me just go for it. Let me live a life performing, whether or not I get famous, is still there, and I love that. and meeting so many different types of people from different industries has allowed me to see that that fire is still there. So I got to keep building opportunities for those people to shine.
Now, we all know that marketing and arts go hand in hand, and which is why you're so great at it. But is there something besides the arts? You put the arts aside, you chose marketing as your primary, profession, and you're climbing the ladder, not just doing it as a part-time. What is it about it that you just love being, in hospitality? Because basically that's categorized where you are right now.
Absolutely. It's kind of the other side, right? In order to make a successful show, in order to build a successful production, in order to build a successful event, you need people. So it's allowed me to really understand any type of person, whether they're different races, different types of personalities, different types of lifestyles, right? Because it's different catering to a show to a general audience than to cater to a high class I have a lot of money audience. So I've learned how to be just very versatile, very flexible, how to change my tone of voice to cater to different types of people. From you good to are you okay? Or everything going well. Different types of words, different types of languages, different types of, intonations and things like that to cater to different people. So I call myself a chameleon.
Yeah.
No matter.
You're an actor for real.
Yes, exactly. I mean, that's kind of hospitality, marketing. Being a food and beverage manager at Virgin, I see so many types of people, from the people that are just like, I just wanted a little staycation. I've been saving, a few months just to be able to come into this really nice hotel, to I have $10,000 in my pocket, which happened yesterday. Actually, it was really funny. So I talk to all types of people, and I have to be able to relate to them. Yeah. I don't have $10,000 in my pocket, but I need to be able to make them feel like I'm one of them.
Right.
Whatever level of people, and at the same time make them feel at home. Not be fake, overbearing, or say, oh, $10,000 person, let me treat you better than the other person. Everyone needs to feel equal at home. And that's what marketing and hospitality has taught me. And it's great. I get along with everybody. Everyone deserves a chance to have a little fun, just let loose. But some people just like it in a different way than others. Like, I have a guy I met this week who, he was literally at the bar on his phone, did not say one word. Went to the restaurant, ate by himself on his phone, not said one word. And I talked to him and I said, You okay? Like, you feeling good? You having fun? He goes, I've had a blast. I've just been enjoying the atmosphere. Yeah. And for me, that's, obviously I'm a talker.
Right.
So for me, I was like, oh, wow, like, he's having fun just sitting here. But that's great. We made him feel good by getting him drinks, promoting certain things. I told him, hey, we have a restaurant. You want to check it out too? And he did, and sat there by himself and enjoyed the atmosphere and ate well. And he had a blast. While I have other who they
need company.
They need company, and they need to talk to every other person they see. So everyone deserves a chance to just have fun, let loose, whatever way they can. So it's allowed me to really, like I said, become that reflection for them and mirror them and be that chameleon and give them a good time.
Yeah, be their friend in that moment, whether
Exactly.
you even know their name. Yeah.
Amen.
So let's talk about the faux hawk. Is this your signature look? This is everyday JC.
Everyday JC. It's funny. So when I was little, I always had a little comb to the side, like very like old school Frank Sinatra. And my mom was really the one who made that happen when I was little. But I was bullied a lot. I every single day. I say it's like if they put a sign in the front of the school that said, bully this kid. From the nerds to the super popular kids, I was bullied by everybody. I was very universally bullied. Thank God never physically, but it was very mental. So when I got to middle school, I moved, and that was after 15 years of the same. No matter where I went, same kids, same bullying, same situation. So when I moved, I had like a little midlife crisis, and I said, I need to change. And I saw it on TV, and I said, I want a faux hawk. I want that. I saw it on the book. And my mom was very against it. She said no. And they kind of started as very old school traditional Hispanic parents. Now they're beyond liberal.
They're like, you know what? It's fine. I mean, the world's an end,
Yeah, exactly. my brother is tattooed and piercings, plugs, which is everything they were against when I was little, which is why I don't have any tattoos or piercings yet. These are all fake. But I said, let me try it. So anyway, long story short, I went from that back to kind of old school look when I got into professional world, because I said they need a certain look.
Yeah.
And I really didn't know myself yet. I studied in England. That's where I really kind of came out of my shell and said, I'm by myself, thousands of miles away from home. And I just kind of learned who I am and said, you know what? I'm really good at this. Hey, I'm going to take this room and I'm going to make a show for 20 people. Or, you know what? I'm going to take this lecture hall, get a big spotlight, 3 colored lights, platforms, and build a whole production here. So I started just becoming that person who just really did everything they wanted to set their mind to. And it became a huge thing out there, to the point where, to this day, that theater company is still running and now doing professional productions 2 times a year, showcases all over. And it's so cool to see. But I kind of learned who I was. So as I grew up and got into entertainment, started running behind the scenes. I did retail. I ran my marketing firm, entertainment companies, everything. I said, you know what? It's okay to be a little different. So I kind of went back to the faux hawk. And I started running. I was running nightclubs, so it was a perfect look. You know, when I was running a club recently, I started with suits. I kind of walked in, and people were saying, "Oh, he's so scary, tall dude, scary.
Yeah,
he's
very
so professional."
Right.
So I kind of like had to dumb myself down a little bit in the sense of the look, but be more hip and just kind of more, you know, with the crowd. And I started wearing sleeveless shirts. So no matter how professional, I have my little quick change. And just kind of became that look, and it just kind of worked. It was kind of fun.
Now that's the whole thing.
Yeah, it just becomes it's just me. Yeah, and then I got Virgin, and I said, "Wow, I'm probably gonna have to go back to professional look." And they loved it. They said, "You're in a 3-piece suit, and you have a faux hawk." And we love it. We love individualism. It works.
It works for both.
And
no
I
can't kind of taken aback. I feel like people are just kind of like, okay, cool.
It's just me, yeah. And between my personality and energy and stuff, people just kind of accept it, and they think it's so cool. I get so many compliments on a daily basis about my suits and my full. I have a red suit that everyone else was like,
I really saw that on your
yes, they're like, a red suit? That's very,
blue,
that's a lot. And they love it.
I feel like if you own it though, just like, you know, your handkerchief or your pocket square, it's not too taken, but because you're owning it, it just kind of works. But if anything, people are just looking because it's like, wow, they have the balls to walk in like that.
Absolutely.
But it's not kind of like, oh my god, right? Exactly. Like there are differences.
It's the energy you bring for it. Like I always tell people, it's not about what you're wearing and whether it works, it's do you make it work.
Yeah. Do you let the clothes wear you, or do you wear the clothes?
Exactly.
You know?
And you can still be a complete professional and have people respect you at an executive level and have your own unique individuality. So
I think that needs to be normalized more. Right? I mean,
Absolutely.
if that's your style, it's just basic suit or 3-piece, whatever, then that's you. But don't do it just because you think that that's going to make people like you more.
Exactly.
You know? Right. So the next question, we have a couple more questions left, so we don't mind. I mean, I feel like you're really
I love it.
here, so you love it. I know you mentioned that you really want to, you know, be open to whatever comes your way, whether it be, you know, Broadway, film, recording, writing, blah, blah, blah. But is there something that deep down, regardless of whatever comes your way, opportunities, that you just are like, this is where I want to be, where I will feel like I succeeded, right? What would that be like for you?
What would that be?
Is it stardom? Is it Oscar? Is it just agency worldwide? What does that look like for you?
I feel that when I was growing up, I definitely wanted to be the Tony winner, the Oscar winner, and stuff like that. I've realized that I just really thrive when I'm helping others and I'm building others. So for me, if I had an agency where I, you know, maybe won awards for the company and the things that we've done for the community and things like that. But if I built the next Oscar winner, if the next Tony winner, the next, you know, YouTube $1 million, you know, crystal holder, things like that, I would have done my job in life. I feel like my purpose in life is to build people to be where they want to be and give them the opportunity that they might not be confident enough to do. I'm really good at saying, hey, you have talent, but you're like right here right now. If you kind of hang with me, I'll get you here. I'm not saying I'm the most talented person. I'm saying I can bring your true talent out. And that's what I'm really good at. That's my forte, running things, managing, and giving people a chance to, I kind of say like, make them think that they're bringing it out, even though I'm really the one bringing it out. So that way it builds their own confidence.
Talent manager, in a way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I think that's, ideal. The reason it started was because I did not have the confidence, the energy, or the talent, honestly, when I started. So I said, well, if they don't want to give me the opportunity, I'm going to give myself the opportunity. So I started producing. And this was at 18 years old, 4 months out of high school. And I ended up getting a chance to produce the first musical in 10 years at my high school. And that lit me up to just say, you know what? If they don't want to give me the chance, I'll give it to myself. So I started producing shows and saying, hey, I'm going to do a showcase. I'm the star. I'm the producer. But I also want you guys to be the star. And everyone's equal. It's like the Knights of the Round Table. I might be the head, the producer, the star of the show, but so are you. So all 10 of us are going to have solos. We're all the star. Each and every one of you is going to have a chance to be in the limelight and have your solo. No one's ensemble. No one's tree number 17. I want all of us to be equals. And that's how I run my companies. That's how I treat my employees. I always tell people I will never ask someone to do something I'm not willing to do.
Yeah.
So people always get confused seeing me in a 3-piece suit. I'm picking up glasses, wiping down tables, and they say, "What are you doing? Who are you?" And I say, "This is my bar.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is my restaurant."
Yeah, and you're setting a good example too, right?
Exactly.
Because it's not just being the boss of people. It's like that. This is what it is. It's doing the hard work as well, and that's how I also got there. Right?
Exactly.
And it's a good example of that you're laying. And so I asked this last question to every one of my guests because it kind of sums up who they are as a person. I think, within the interview, everyone learns a little bit about you. They're getting their own take, kind of what you stand for, right? And so the question is there a philosophy that you live by?
I've been, the last few years, I've been definitely living off the philosophy of life is short, but life is long. So live like you have a very short life, but understand that you'll have a long time to be this happy. So I recently, in the last year and a half, had a moment where I had a surgery and I almost died from it. So it made me realize I don't have time to save money to do this or to wait one day or maybe this will happen. I have to make it happen because I could be gone tomorrow. So I tell people, live like you're going to die tomorrow. But understand that once you get there, you have a long way of happiness to go. So I always tell people not to be held back by things that you think are going to hold you back, because that's all mental. You yourself decide whether you will be successful in life or not. You just have to do it. It's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to have a lot of sacrifice. It's going to be hard. But most things that are worth it are hard. So
Absolutely.
just live your life like you're going to die tomorrow, but understand you have a long way to go.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That was beautiful. I love that answer. It's interesting because I sit here, and that's my favorite question, because I sit here and I watch people. Some people are like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But then whatever comes out of their mouth basically is like a one sentence
It's all from the inside.
of the whole interview. The whole 15, 20 minutes, however long it may be. It just kind of, because you can't really fake that.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know and you're talking yourself out of it, it's just something that comes out. And then if you reflect on your life, if someone were to go and either look at your social media or know you personally, it kind of does reflect. And it's kind of like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And not everyone's is the same.
Exactly.
I think in Vegas, a lot of people think all entertainment's got to be the same, right? Like, fake it till you make it, or like, keep pushing, perseverance. But it's more than that.
Yeah.
Right? And I like when people are vulnerable enough in this point of the interview to just come out, even if it's just word vomit.
Yeah.
Right? To just be able to express that to the audience and to me, and we just met, so you don't know me, but you're able to be very honest and open and vulnerable with me. So thank you for that.
Thank you for
all of
the
that.
chance to be here today.
Thank you. Well, so thank you so much for this interview. I hope you had an amazing time
Thanks, it was fun.
spending your time here and just speaking your truth, which I genuinely love. So just one last thing, if you want to tell the audience your social medias, and if there's anything on the entertainment side for them to look forward to, whether or not you have your talent performing or you're performing at, if you want to tell them that.
Absolutely. So you can find me on all social media under JC Lopez LV. That's JC Lopez Las Vegas LV. This Saturday, I'll be hosting as cruise captain for the Yachty Girls, which is an 80s yacht rock show at the Ahern Theater, which is next to the Strat on Sahara. And it's a super fun show. We are sold out, which is amazing. However, there is a few rooms we can squeeze by, so look up Yachty Girls Las Vegas on Facebook, and you can find a little bit of information on how to get tickets. Every Sunday, I'm at Queen Las Vegas hosting the Queen's Comedy Ball, so you can be the next queen of the ball. Just come on down, enjoy an amazing show every Sunday at 8 p.m., and you can get a chance to get crowned for the night. And then starting May 12th, I'll be producing a drag brunch at Planet Hollywood at Rosa Mexicana, which is going to be an amazing brand new production in an amazing location. And I'm really excited to give a chance to these amazing local queens to get a chance to shine on the Las Vegas Strip in the middle of the action, and it's going to be an incredible time. So make sure you guys follow me at JC Lopez LV or Relentless Entertainment on Facebook and Instagram for all the information. And if you know me, I will be posting every day.
As you should. And are people open to contact you about whether or not they would like to know more about your agency?
Absolutely.
And to get signed or things
Absolutely.
like that? Okay.
Yes. If you look up Relentless Entertainment and just want to get signed up for a newsletter or information about future performances and opportunities to perform, to host, I am connected with a modeling agency who's always looking for chances to perform and get booked as well. So just let me know. I am always open. My phone number is on every website, every Facebook page. Feel free to just message me on Instagram, Facebook, text me, and I'm more than happy to be your new best friend in entertainment.
Perfect. Well, JC, thank you so much for being here. I hope we stay in
Thank
touch.
you.
And we can be each other's new best friends in
Absolutely.
entertainment. Everyone, JC, make sure to follow him. Give him a round of applause, everybody. And when we come back, we're not done. We have another amazing, upbeat, vivacious guest to sit in an amazing hot seat. So I'll see you right after this break.
John is an employee at one of the most famous firms in the city of New York. So his job is very hectic, and he realized that it is necessary for him to go and finally take a vacation. But he went on a vacation without planning out the details, and wasn't able to truly enjoy where he went because he had to think about so many things that he didn't plan for. Instead of enjoying his time away from work, he came back with more stress that he was not able to take full advantage of his vacation. But this year, a coworker suggested him to try World Ventures this time to make his vacationing more enjoyable and less stressful. They do not require you to plan anything outside of your transportation, which is also available at discounted rates. Your stay, your transport, and many meals are planned by the club. John liked the idea very much. He tries World Ventures, and his experience with the club was amazing, as he made many friends there with whom he had a great time. John recommends that everyone should try this club, as they are the best in business. See how the VIP-vacation-club.com can give you the right experience without all the hassle. Enjoy the VIP experience that only World Ventures provides.
Got Films is a full-service production company that provides motion picture quality content and production services for use in the film and TV industry. Looking for a seasoned crew, high-quality equipment, or other production services for your film, TV, commercial, corporate convention, sports, news, or interview project? Your search stops here. Some of our projects include NASCAR, American Restoration, Pawn Stars, Counting Cars, Top Chef, BattleBots, Forge and Fire, and Street Outlaws. We have also produced over 60 feature films and documentaries. We're ready for all your needs. Whatever your project, whatever your budget, big or small, Got Films got you. GotFilms.com.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the hot seat. I'm your host Priscilla Moy. So I really hope you guys really enjoyed that interview with JC Lopez, it was our first time meeting and first time introducing you guys to this guest. I love when the audience either gets a recurring guest or a new person, or they've been on a different show, but we can bring out something new every single time. And speaking of recurring and bringing something new, we actually have an impromptu person that happened to pop in today that would also like to sit in the hot seat while we wait for our other guest. So you've seen him all over the place, whether in LA or Vegas, and definitely a lot on social media shows. He's amazing, and every time he comes in here, he's got a whole new look and a whole lot of stuff going on. So everyone, please welcome Paul Gunn. Welcome back, Mr. Purple Hair. Good to see you.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me back.
The hair, this is amazing.
This is.
You gotta talk about the hair, because it's a story.
It's funny because, well, there's like a backstory behind all this. Well, to answer your question, Ziggy and I have a couple of parts on Skate to Hell, Sean C. Phillips' film, and we are going to be in Nelson, Nevada, starting tomorrow. I mean, they've been filming for the last about a week, I believe. But yeah, it's a comedy horror, so the hairstyle I kind of just cooked up for the part that we're playing. So well, thank you.
Very well done. Too. Like you got some
thank you.
orange, you got a little shade that's highlight, it's dark, it's everything.
What's the weirdest hair color or style that you've had?
I went Rihanna red back in college.
Really?
Really, like you think of like a candy red apple or a lollipop.
Okay.
Yeah. Freshman year of college.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did it make you feel?
Cool. It was a vibe for that, and I don't know if I do it now. Maybe a wig. I think if I'm gonna do crazy colors like that, I think I would do wigs.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's a lot of upkeep.
Yeah.
As you know, like it starts to fade, or your hair grows out, and I have black hair. Like you got constantly, and you don't want to have like 3 inches of black, and then it's not a vibe.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean, right?
It's a lot of work.
It is.
I mean,
the upkeep.
When guys ask about like, oh, hey, what should I eat or how should I work out, and I'm like, okay, how good do you want to look? Do you want to look competition good, or do you just want to, I don't know, firm up a little bit? Because you can't just go to the gym and work out like in order to look like competition good or be ready for a photo shoot good.
It's different. Your body's different. Everyone's different. The genetics are different.
Yeah.
Well, height, size, all that stuff. So it's not the same.
Exactly.
It's a general question. It's like, all right, well, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, but then like when I write all this stuff, I mean, and I learned this a while back because they're like, okay, I just want to kind of get in shape, and then you like write all this stuff down for them, and you give it to them, and they're like, oh, okay, well, I don't know if I can do that, and then they throw it away.
Right. Yeah, it just seemed a little too much. Too much for me.
So
Right.
It's we it's a lot more involved than just, okay, I got to eat chicken breast now. There's like, it's structured. Like, if you want to get in that shape, if you don't want to get in that shape, okay, there's like some really simple things to do. But every time you drive by a really nice golf course and it's all green and lush and manicured and edged and everything is just perfect on it, there's a lot of maintenance that is involved to make it look that way, and it's the same with hair.
Everything. It's a lot. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, and I understand like now when girls are like, oh yeah, I'd rather just put on a wig or put on like the hippie things, and because I was like a hair model for a while, and I worked for Robert Cromians, Paul Mitchell, Sebastian Redkin, Wella. I mean, I was kind of like the hair show whore in town. And it's just because like having Asian hair, like first off, it's very durable and it bounces back. So whenever you have like weird stuff done to it, you bleach it, you strip it, you color it. Like our hair kind of tends to like just rebound and come right back, and because it's really thick and like there's I don't know, it's very durable. Number one. Number two, it holds the style and the color and stuff. So we would get hired a lot for hair shows. And I'm like, I've had so many different hairstyles and so many different haircuts and colors but it's a lot of maintenance, and like you can damage your scalp.
Oh yeah, the scalp starts to burn and stuff, and it's too much.
Yeah.
But let's talk about what I really want to ask you is what happened to the Facebook You got hacked, and now like I got this friend request that was like not plug, and I was like, this is fake. I was like, I sat on it.
There's a little
and I had to
sus.
observe, and I had to make sure because like he has a certain posting style he does. He's very honest on his Facebook. So I let me watch for a while because here I am to have two who's the real one.
Right.
So what's going on with that?
I made some videos on TikTok, and then I used their music on there. But then when I went over to Facebook and I posted it, they don't coincide. And so I had like BMI or I don't know, Warner Brothers, and they're like, we need you to take down your, posts and stuff. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then, but they're serious about it. So yeah, you could get your Facebook banned.
Wow.
Which is what happened to me.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's
So
weird, 'cause sometimes they'll mute it. Right,
Right.
I've gotten a lot of videos where they're just muted, and I'm like, whatever, it's fine. But like for the whole Facebook be taken down.
yeah,
That's crazy. Because you're very active too. Like, what is the vibe?
I don't know. What have you ever had like stuff? What's the worst thing that you ever had to deal with on Facebook?
I mean, not much on Facebook. But as regards to the like Meta, it's just if they just say, oh no, this is not allowed to be shown in certain countries based on the music or copyright. But thankfully, I've never been fully hacked.
Okay. Well, on a good note is that like the less people I have, like it's easier to you see what people that I actually know are doing and trying.
Yeah, I know it's a vibe. So at least I know it's real because I'm just like, yeah, this is Paul.
That's really
the
good.
posting was pretty much up to with this
Oh.
person. I was like, yeah, that's it. I don't think you can impersonate.
His sentence composition and his grammar are just it's terrible.
Every day is a new day of Paul. It's always exciting. So I don't think anyone can fake that. It's hard to fake.
It's
So since I've last seen you, you're talking a lot about your history, your theater, all the things, and where you're at now. How's it going with the hustling? I mean, you seem constantly booked based on this new Facebook. You're always doing something. You're doing some new photo shoots. You're posting some throwbacks. But now here you are doing movies. So what's the big life like? Like, what's the vibe?
So, thank you for asking. So last year, SAG had that strike, right? So we weren't working a whole lot then. And then after the strike ended, wow, great, but it's now hiatus because it's holiday season. So there's like usually a break between like about Halloween till about spring break, and they usually show reruns of things, and then you got it's the holiday season, so you have all these like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and all that stuff, and then the Super Bowl, and there's all these things that they have planned out. So like a lot of times the movie industry kind of takes a break then, and series take breaks then. So didn't have a whole lot going on since last summer, to be honest with you. I went to Oregon and I helped my mom. My stepfather passed away about a year ago from a stroke. Yeah, no, that's right. Thank you. And but she's out there in the middle of the sticks and has like maybe within a mile, like maybe 5 or 6 neighbors, because she's out in the boonies. So if you think of Eugene, but by the coast, and it's beautiful there. It's quiet. I got a chance to. It's like the universe finally put me into a place where I was forced to try to write something, and that's something that I've been putting off for a long time. So to answer your question, I decided, okay, well, you know what? I came up with some story ideas and concepts, and I had it. I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but eventually Ziggy and I ran into this great. It's kind of like meeting Gandalf or Yoda or Merlin, because he's been in the industry for a long time. And Chris, I love you. Thank you so much for everything that you've done and shared with us. But Chris, our friend, has been in the entertainment industry for over 30 years, and he started off as a film developer, but physical film, so there's those dark rooms with the chemicals and stuff, and he started off there, and then he worked his way up and he started taking photographs, and then he started doing like New York Fashion Week and London Fashion Week and Paris Fashion Week, and so he's really good with glamour type pictures, and then he started shooting film, and he's gosh, like such a renaissance, man. Like I've had a chance to travel a lot, and I've had a chance to do a lot of wild and crazy things. But Chris, oh my gosh, like he can edit film, he can shoot film, he can shoot pictures. He can also do special effects, and he can also do Unreal Engine 5, what runs those big, like the LED screens. So basically, we decided to team up, and he has like a whole slate of films that are ready and edited and ready to go. And then he has like about 40 screenplays and concepts that he's sitting on, because he was, waiting for the right people to come along. And I worked with Chris on it was a bilingual film, and it's called Loose Ends Down, and it's still in post-production right now. But we got to talking, and he's interesting to me because he's older than me. He's an older Asian dude with long hair, and he has a British accent.
Amazing. Yeah.
And he was born in India, grew up in the UK, and he has the UK schooling, and he has like the UK, like when it comes to theater or English and like they're like, in our realm, in the world of theater and film, that's broadcast in English, like they are top notch. And then he moved to Hong Kong and started doing things there. So he's very trained.
cultured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And has the equipment, and we're just working on getting that sort of stuff together. So Ziggy and Gunn are working on their production credits, as well as getting roles that are more, well, I guess he analyzed our stuff, and he's like, well, kind of might want to consider changing the public's vision of you or interpretation, because I've been playing a lot of heavy roles. Heavies are the main bad guy, the gangster, the drug dealer.
And all that stuff. We talked about how you were on Bullet Train, and I recognized him right away, and I was like, there he is, playing the tough guy, the glass, got a cigarette in hand.
Yeah, he looks good, but just don't let him say anything. So, but thank you. But and he's like, okay, that's great and all, but you got to change the perception, and you have to start doing more lead roles, and you have to start doing more protagonist roles. So he has us in mind when he writes and when he casts stuff.
That's fantastic. I mean, to me, if it helps at all, and if Chris is watching, like, you and Joe are very character actors to me, and it's not easy to do that. Maybe it's the theatrics in both of you, and we'll meet Joe in a second. But it's very much, you guys aren't focused on like the beauty of film all the time. A lot of times when I see you guys are always in a character. You guys are always doing character shots. And for some actors, it's very difficult and kind of too vulnerable for them to showcase like, this is like, I'm like an angry person. You know what I mean? Like it takes a real theatric person to do those things. So if it helps you at all, to me, maybe it's because I know you guys personally, but like, I think that you play like those. Instead of keeping you in a box, I can see that you definitely aim towards versatility.
Oh, cool.
You guys are the type that I feel like just jump in anything that sounds super cool. Like you're like, that sounds cool. Let's just do it. That's what you to me. That's the vibe. Like, that's pretty crazy. Some blood coming out of my eyes. Let's freaking do it. Like,
and you're right, because I've been a singer and a dancer before, and an acro, and it's like a lot of times those skills are based on visual kind of things, and so you have to use a different set of muscles. But when you move into acting, which you're very right, you must be able to, if you want to be considered an actor, you must be able to show vulnerability, and you must be able to cry and get sad, or you must be able to get angry, or you have to be disheveled. But the more that you're able to just let go and be an acceptance of yourself, then that it's easier to fit into other roles, because like you can only do the same stuff so much.
Before you get typecast, and then like if there's no role for you, no one's going to consider you, and then you're just sitting there like, great, I put myself in a pigeonhole. Fantastic.
I don't know, some people they just they can do that, and for some I don't know, but I kind of figured I just wanted to live as many lifetimes as I can in this lifetime, but that's just me. So but
how's it feel being back in Las Vegas doing it? Because you're a Cali guy, like you're out there in Hollywood, like do you love it? You come back, because I feel like you guys come in and you run away. right away. Like, I can only get you guys in the studio at like once a year, maybe, and you're
Really?
my chance.
Yeah. I just I always love to come and talk to you.
I mean, don't get me wrong, we're
whenever you
all
want.
open here. We're
Yeah.
close, so Vegas, yes.
No.
It
feels like it's. I mean, because like now with the baseball team coming, and then
Yeah.
Hollywood 2.0 coming, you must be excited about that.
I have my feelings.
Yeah. Okay.
I have my thoughts. I'm not putting all the eggs in the basket. Let me just put it that way.
Okay.
We all know Las Vegas. We have a lot to go. I feel like it's going to be taken advantage of properly, if that makes sense. If I can say in the right business sense.
Okay.
I think
just
Vegas,
it's kind of like when you buy a new house and you're like waiting to work the kinks out or something.
Yeah, but you don't know how to take care of a home,
Right,
and
yeah.
you don't know what you need to do to maintain it. That is how I feel like, oh my God, we have to choose a certain type of locks on our door, right? It's the same type of the reason, and it's not negative, but I definitely see the reality. I think you worked in Vegas and film. I worked in Vegas and film, and we've definitely worked in different levels without knowing until you get into it, and then you want to exit quickly. So, but I feel like in that sense, to maintain a giant production company, it's not just a studio like this. Not hating on small studios, but we're talking big, like there's going to be departments there. There's arts department, there's makeup, there's costumes, and they're holding it there. I mean, people work there 24/7. They're constantly a literal studio, just as much as Warner Brothers, Paramount. And so the hands and the bodies that you need to do that, but also the knowledge and the credentials in order to know how to run those things. I believe there needs to be more thought into that, because I believe it will be outsourced.
Okay.
And I'm not just saying to hate on anyone, but in my
Interesting,
experience and what I've seen in working with people in these different departments, a lot of those people for big productions come from LA. Or they'll come from New York, especially costumes will come from New York and wardrobe. And DPs and stuff. But if we need at-home people, they might move here. Principals, I think a lot of them will be cast
From
elsewhere when the SAG franchise agencies, which we don't have here, right? That's another thing you think about, So in my mind, in order for it to be very all Vegas based for us locals to take advantage of it without just being stand-ins, doubles, or BG
extras
or BG or working grip. Things like that, I think there needs to be serious,
It'll be interesting to see.
It'll be interesting for sure. And I'll be here sitting and watching. The show. Let's get the popcorn.
American film market, which is usually in Santa Monica, is going to be here next year and starting from now on. So that's another thing. So
right.
I don't.
Yeah.
It's just.
But it's also asking the question of the standard that they're looking for. With the American film market, they might be placed here, but where are those films coming from, right? Are they going to buckle down and accept, right? It's those questions that you ask, and it's not hating, it's just a very professional way of looking at the business in general. Because the Academy Awards might not want that level in me with a $1,000 budget, even though Vegas thinks that was the most amazing thing they've ever seen in the past 20 years.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So Vegas, it might be great, but in the real world of things where billions of dollars put in a production company might need a little bit more of a,
Yeah,
because I don't think we have a big SAG franchise agency in Las Vegas. We don't, right? Exactly.
It's,
so that's what I thought.
it's been a while. I used to be with Lens, but I think Jackie Bascal is, but
I get $200 10-hour background from agencies like those, and even then sometimes they'll be like, no, sorry, you don't qualify, and I'm like, I didn't ask, but thank you. So things like that. So it's more so if to take advantage. I think there's hope, but in reality, I think we can't just bank on Mark Wahlberg bringing that here and then just him being the ticket to success. I think we still have to work for it.
Well, ideally, if I get anything, running, and Joe and I, because we're working on stuff with Chris, and then I would ideally kind of like to come back here and put all my friends to work.
You guys are also, see, it's awesome, but you know what I mean?
But we'll,
So, but that'd be great, though.
I'd like to, but we'll see.
But it takes people like that, though, in order to know film, to bring film, and have film here.
Right.
At that, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it takes people like you and takes people like Joe and Chris to make Vegas have that same level as maybe Hollywood 1.0.
in 1.0.
Whatever you want to call it. 1.0.
Or is it Atlanta? Well, I was talking to like a buddy of mine who's a producer, and he was like, because it's like when you get to the point where you can start hiring people for things, and you're thinking, oh well, I should get my best friend or my sister, brother-in-law, whatever. My producer friend who's had some experiences, he's like, look, I'll give you my experience with it if you want to know. Like, yeah, sure, please tell me. And he's like, listen, as much as we love our family members and we love our friends and we want to see them succeed and get forward in whatever they're doing, you got to understand that the business is difficult to get into because it is unlike any kind of business that you've ever been in. And in order for you to succeed, you must love living that lifestyle and doing that work. And that work often, calls for you to be on set for a good 12 or 15 hours, but then you got to come back the next day, and then the next day, and then the next day. So if you're not used to that and you're not flexible, it's going to be a pain in the butt. And then what happens is when you hire that person and then they're like, oh, I just made plans with so-and-so and then we got to be out of here tonight. And then you can't let them out because we're not through filming.
Right.
And then they start getting antsy or they don't understand. And it's like, look, I want to get out of here too. And then if they decide to get frustrated, ticked off, and then leave, that puts you in a bad position. And then that puts you, and then now you're risking a friendship or, so there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes.
And it's overshadowed by ego because they hear, oh, it's a movie. I'm going to be a star. But they go in there not knowing what you got to do and what you also need. You also need to contribute.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you also know this experience, but maybe it's from the theater at work ethic. That you know that you got to walk in prepared and know that.
You have to do the work.
And you don't want to just be there and be like, I'm amazing.
Yes, I know. It's not.
You're making me recite the lines right now, seriously. Like.
It's actual work.
Yeah,
it's actually, you can't just hang out with a bunch of movie stars.
And then call yourself a movie star.
Right. You have to be able to know your lines. You got to be able to have ideas.
Who knew? OMG. Acting is not just reading.
You're welcome. I just saved
that.
you a ton of time if you ever thought about doing this sort of stuff.
I know, but they do though because Hollywood 2.0, it's here. It's our ticket. That is what I'm trying to say in a less casual form than him and I would probably do off camera. But yeah. Already got hate for it, but hey, whatever.
But
it is what it is. We all have our own opinion and experience, and for mine, I think we have a long way to go for those reasons.
Sure,
it's not about being a star. It's not Las Vegas doing it for you. You have to do your homework.
You have to think ahead. You have to communicate, get to the point, and you also have to take
the
direction.
level is if you want to work alongside people like Mark Wahlberg and DiCaprio, you got to walk in holding your own as much as they do, and not ego.
Right.
Talent, and that's why I think
it's
a craft.
Must be able to take directions a first time. If you got to repeat it over and over again, it's redundant.
And you don't understand what they're saying.
Redundancy equals more time on set. More time on set equals more money. So
help. Step on the X. Where's the X? Yeah. Oh my God! It's that black sticker on the ground. Where? You've been there.
Upstage, downstage.
You've been there. You've been there. Where? And it's right there.
And that's a thing.
The only black thing on the ground.
You gotta have your training. You gotta know. Oh, are we on? Huh? Oh. Anyway, you gotta be able to contribute. You gotta be able to pull your weight. That's it. Anyway,
it's that's all. Being famous, guys. That's all we want. It's Hollywood 2.0 is fame.
Yeah. So there's kind of.
Well, anyway, we're going to bring Joe. That was our little kill time with the amazing Paul Gunn.
That was a warm up. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Maria.
So, but yes, we are going to cut to a new break because they're dying of laughter, and I think we're talking too much because we're spilling too much tea, and I don't need any more people on the hit. I don't need any more hit lists. So, anyway, we get back. We're going to meet the other half of Gunn. And we are just going to get right into it because she's going to be her own personality as well. So, right after the break. Don't miss out on this.
Do you have any cakes?
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Hot Seat. I'm your host Priscilla Moy, and I hope you enjoyed that little talk and recurring interview with Paul Gunn, or not Paul Gunn. It's always a joy to have him in the studio. We're gonna meet his other half, the one snickering behind the camera because she's just that amazing, and she just loves us and everything we talk about. But her energy's amazing. I can't wait to have her here. Everyone, please welcome Joanna Heckman, the one and only. Here she comes in style. Her legendary.
No, look at you. You're the legend. Look at this. Oh my God.
No,
It's like,
stop.
oh my God, it's on fire, baby.
Oh, honey, it's so good to see you.
Oh my God, so good to
Please
see
be careful. Sitting down. Oh my God, you have your legendary, iconic leopard hat on. This is like.
Yeah, this is my thing.
This is your staple.
Yeah.
Right?
This is really a weapon.
Oh, it should. It's a workout too. You can switch up. But I hear you wear this a lot for auditions too. Like this is kind of your staple hat, your staple look.
Yeah. When I used to audition, it's been great. I haven't had an audition for quite a while. Okay, I'll tell you the story. Michael Caine, he really has influenced me so much. He went on like 300 auditions before he ever got anything.
Yeah.
And he said, the secret is there's no shot. You just don't quit. You just keep going. And that's the secret. And the other thing, he had this really like 30-foot long scarf. So at his auditions, he would like wrap it around and around and around because he said, how are you going to stand out? Now I call it the fava bean moment, like. So I tell Paul too, like, find your fava bean moment in whatever it is. Make do something that stands out or that people will remember, right? Mm-hmm. So I started wearing just leopard hat, like just auditions and stuff, and so something that like this is a fava bean moment right here.
I feel like Priscilla is her own. It depends on the day. I have matched it towards who was coming today. The night before, he interviews drag queens. He's entertaining. He's an MC. Does a nightclub life, but he's also hospitality manager, all that stuff. So I'm just like, and then there's you, right? I match the energy.
Are you saying I'm a drag queen? Yeah. Because
I
have been one.
I meant to say.
I have been one.
There's no problem with it. They're fabulous. Listen, it is. I wish I could, but no. But the energy, I feel like you're very you're very rocker.
We could totally be drag queens together if you want. Amazing. I'm just saying,
And you need a name. You got Gunn, you got Ziggy, and you need to make up a name. Yeah. But starting from the beginning, so you have a huge resume, right? Like, I look you up, and what's interesting, what's news to me is that this is your stage name, right?
Gene Heathen is my stage name, yeah. Ooh, there's a story behind that, too.
Are you willing to talk about it, or is it too sensitive a topic?
I don't know, we can talk about it.
Oh, let's talk about it. So you have so many different identities. When I type in your name, how I know you guys, right? All this stuff comes up, I'm like, is this her? I was like, it's gotta be. So I put in Jordan actor. I was like, okay, it's still coming up. I was like, all right, this is new, right? And then Jordan Ziggy, and then it's just coming up multiple different things. Gene Heathen and all that stuff. So what's the story?
Oh my God. Lovely. Well, actually, I need to finish my drag queen story first.
Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna see.
It was funny. So Ron and Jimmy Starr and Ron Russell had interviewed Paul and I, and they're like, so many of our female friends look like drag queens. They're like, a lot of them do. And they look at me and they go, well, we never look at you and say, oh, you're a drag queen. I go, oh, but I can. And I have.
Yeah.
Being in the ballroom dance business for years, I was a pretty fierce competitor, so my nickname was Vicious. However, I never walked on anyone's toes. You know, I have my principles and always kind to people. I never threw them under the bus. That's just the way, a human being should be, right?
Professional too.
Yeah.
Especially when you're at space. Yeah.
And it's so weird when you come across in this business, these people think they have to be these divas or whatever. And the real people that I worked with, like in Casino, where I got my SAG card years ago with Robert De Niro. Oh my God. He's amazing. He's very private and quiet. And I really relate to him because I'm like very shy by nature and kind of a recluse. So I was always kind of the lone wolf. And people don't need to be these pretend divas and shit. Anyway.
I mean, if that's your role, but not
right.
Like,
it's fun to play, but God, treat people.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
yeah.
right?
And that's what we're talking about with Paul. Is just it doesn't have to be all that. It's work at the end of the day. And I think you, like, as much as Paul, like, he's from theater, you also have been in theater and been in dance especially.
Yeah,
and you do modern, you tap, and you're doing all this extensive work. You know the work that goes behind all of it. So when you finally perform and you're in professional settings, you don't mess that up, right?
Right.
And so I feel like no matter how you portray yourself, that you're this actor and whatever, and you walk around, sometimes, I don't know about you, but I try to not want to talk about the fact that I do ABCDFG because then people put you in that pool where you say, well, I'm an actor. Right? And then they're all of a sudden like, oh, here we go, right? And you're just like, I'd rather just right now, I'm not, you know?
Yeah, totally. So that same philosophy in the dance business, a lot of my dance partners were gay, fabulous. So one looked really like Jodie Foster.
Oh, okay.
When he got dragged up, he looked like a 6'5" Jodie Foster.
OMG.
So he did this international drag show, and me and this other girl, Elaine, were his backup dancers. So we, jacked up our hair, we're on heels. So I was about maybe 6'1" with that. And people really thought I was a drag queen, and I let them think that.
You probably had so much fun with it too. You're like, okay, let's ride this out.
I'm like, I'm a girl, damn it. What do you mean? I'm a princess, goddammit, I'm a princess. Anyway.
That's fun though.
Yeah, it was really, really fun. So, characters, that kind of thing are really fun to play. And you just gotta have fun with it. And above all, don't take yourself too seriously. People that buy into their own hype become douches, man.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, for real.
I'm sure you've come across some of them.
I shouldn't be laughing like this, but it's just coming out. Let's all just take a moment.
We all know at least one person. I'm sure 3 or 4 or
amazing.
10 or 13.
At least we all have one in common right now. I think what's funny is that Vegas, and I'm not talking bad, it's just interesting. It's fun to meet when I'm like, oh my God, OMG. It's not just me, OMG, but,
Right.
So.
It's so weird.
I've never seen her break character. Great producer. Maria's behind here crying this entire time.
I have that ability to make people break.
Yeah, so I get to do
including myself.
Remember that one time? But yeah, I mean that's why you come here, you work, and then you leave.
Right. So sometimes people think that they don't have to have any training whatsoever.
Is it the city or is it just? Oh my God! Post edit.
Some people think that
I'm crying.
you can buy talent or.
Can you?
No.
I was recently told that my degree was just a piece of paper that I hide behind.
Wow.
It's amazing.
degree.
If you guys want to see,
She has a degree. Excuse me, this is what a degree deserves.
Thank you. It's just a piece of paper that's not needed in this industry. And this is said by someone who doesn't have a degree that's trying to be in this industry, and there's reasons.
And you know what that is all about, is their own insecurity. I studied psychology on my own because it's fascinating. And really acting is the study of human nature. It is psychology.
Yeah.
So it's really fun when people do certain things or actions and the psychology of it.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Humans are way more complex.
Douche. Yeah.
I think
it's like, don't be a douche, people. Just
it's hard.
be
though,
nice.
but
Yeah,
they
treat
don't
people
think that. It's self-awareness. Maybe that's the problem.
Oh, self-aware. Yeah.
Maybe that is.
Maybe they need a mirror to go.
I don't know. I will tell you what I think. And you can save you because you've worked in Vegas. I think it's very easy in certain areas in the United States or certain areas in the world where they make it very accessible. I think, if you've trained and worked your entire life in order to experience different levels and different places and how it really is, you appreciate the craft of it and how hard it is to obtain a single job versus coming to a place where you can say, hey, how did you get on that? And the next day, you're now calling yourself an actor, and now you're working with people, and you all think that, oh, we're the same. And so with Hollywood 2.0, so I feel like I haven't had many people, and this is so unhinged. I've never had such an unhinged. Oh my God, I'm gonna get fired.
Well, this is the hot seat, dog.
I know, is it? But not for me. I'm not trying to get fired. Or Maria, we might lose everything here.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, dog?
Who's gonna fire us? Who's better than us here? I blame Paul. He was not on my list today, so he's made me so unhinged, and now it's just.
Just go, bro.
Thanks.
Unhinged is awesome. Are you kidding me?
No, it's
Unhinged
amazing.
is the
It's
real.
real.
The real
I will say though, the whole motto, I think, and I think you guys are the same, but is maintaining realness where it's the most fake.
Yeah.
Because it's not what it is. How these people are portraying, it's not.
No, it's not at all. And acting, I mean, being with Paul is so awesome. And Chris, and our friend Jack Thaler, kudos to you, baby. It's like you're kids again. And you're playing, right? Because acting, okay, when you're a kid, you're free, right? You laugh at stuff. You make funny faces and people laugh. You don't care what other people think. And then as you grow older, you're taught, oh, don't do that. Don't do that. You can't show emotion. Don't do that. Oh, you should not do that or act that way. And acting, you need to strip all that away. And such a wonderful coach I had years ago, Carl Buto, bless you, darling, a Siciliano. And he was tough and I loved it. And, oh my God. He's like, just strip all that stuff away that you were taught not to do and go back to being a kid again and be free. Just don't care what other people think. And when you truly get to that point, when you really don't care what other people think, then you're free. Mm-hmm. And it's the most wonderful feeling because then you can make silly faces, be different characters. And I love playing monsters, right? A lot of people are like, oh, don't cover my face. I'm like, ugly me out, baby. Right? And I love creating monsters too. So that's the true freedom. Yeah. It's like you're a kid again and you're running around playing and oh my God, it's so awesome.
So is that what drives you to become a professional actor? So you went from dance, you modeled and you did some acting. I mean, theater and dance, that's still acting or still character when you're performing as a dancer. How did that transition go and you doing this full time? And then you did costume, you did a lot of backstage stuff, professionally award-winning costume designer.
Thank you.
Also, now as you're an actor and you're actively working as an actor on these sets alongside crew, where's the motivation coming for that?
What really sparks my brain and my body is when people, they'll give me an idea. And Paul does that a lot too. and Jack and Chris and our friends like Brad. And I just want to create until I pass on to the next dimension. And then continue to create. The fun about films is you can create something out of nothing. It's just your brain, right? You think of an idea or whatever, and all of a sudden you write it down and you get the crew and you film it, and it's so exciting to create something original. And that's the trick, because it's like, okay, how do you come up with something that's never been done before, right?
Yeah.
And that's the excitement for me.
Yeah.
Whether it's like a song I compose, or an idea for a film, it's, oh my God, just creating something out of nothing.
Yeah. And I think, because I've never had someone talk about wardrobe or costume styling. Maybe we'll have some fashion designers and stuff like that, but with film, TV, even theater, you have to have that tell the story as well, right?
Yes.
So
my God, girl. Yeah.
Yeah. What is your point of view on what you love about it, and how do you approach that every gig you get? Because it's not just film. Like, let's just say you get play, right? So how do you approach that?
Okay. Yeah, wardrobe. The amazing thing, ever since, oh my God, I'll get stories upon stories, but wardrobe, it gives the feel and the look of the film. So whenever I approach it, I talk to the director, we have many meetings, and okay, how do you want this to look? How do you want this to feel? And wardrobe is so important for that. And so many times, oh my God, people just take it for granted. We want you to do wardrobe for free for the love of the project or whatever. I'm like, first of all, tell me what the project is.
Right.
How can I love it? And oh my God, it's so undervalued, I think.
Yeah. And where are you getting all these pieces from?
Yes.
It out of your own closet.
Oh my God. Some of them, yes.
Yeah.
My mother, well, God bless my mother. I love you. She taught me to sew my first stitch when I was 3 years old.
Okay.
And I remember it was a pink kangaroo with yellow thread onto this quilt piece that she still has. And I thank her so much for that, because it's come in handy. I was making ballroom gowns and Latin gowns for students and myself. And then in film and dance and theater, it is the most valuable thing, I think, that she's ever taught me, that anyone's ever taught me. By 8 years old, I designed this bikini swimsuit. It was really cool. It was red, white, and blue, and like a tube top. And I put like corset stitching here.
Okay.
The boy shorts before they were a thing, right?
Yeah.
And I had corset on the sides.
Yeah, the lace up and that, yeah.
So I made it work the pool that day, and yeah. So ever since then, I've just been creating things that I liked and that I grew up with, and unique things. So I approach films the same way. I want it to. Well, I always say, I want it to be so unique that people will want to cosplay this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
So bring out the character in Space Wars: Quest for the Deep Star, Garo Seijin, and it's a wonderful family.
This is one of your recent films, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was so amazing. He really treated people well, and we had multiple meetings for costumes, and I was sketching things just by hand, because I just feel it's more hands-on. And he wanted the feel of some of these, like 70s, 80s, like Star Wars, Star Trek, all the things we grew up with,
Yeah.
And it was really interesting, the evolution of that. He said, okay, I want it to look like this, and then I kind of add my own spin on it. And oh my God, God bless him for him and Mike Conway and Deborah Richards. Oh my God, these directors I worked with that gave me freedom.
Yeah.
To just kind of go for it.
Yeah, they trusted you.
Yeah, that's amazing. Oh my God. Because when somebody says, no, which is, certain words are not in my vocabulary, like no or can't or won't.
Yeah.
they give you freedom, and it's amazing. So, kept sketching different ideas, and some of the things that I had already created in my wardrobe over the years. Other things oh my God, you go to like Savers, thrift shops or whatever, and I would alter them and morph them into something cool, like the Space Barbarian.
Yeah, you
that was fun.
Upcycling, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a combination of, and even things on Amazon, and it's just a combination of many things. Bidding on eBay, like Duel, that I made a samurai outfit for Paul, and he did such an amazing job with that. Everyone did an amazing job in Duel, but the process. So wardrobe, months before a project, hopefully, sometimes they're like a week. Like, we need this in a week. I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
you're killing me.
Right.
When you have the time to bid on stuff on eBay or whatever, or create something from scratch, then that's the uniqueness of it. It's something that you have never seen before.
Yeah, it's challenging.
Yeah.
Because, when I went to get my BFA, like, I had to be in wardrobe crew and take those classes. And spend time,
good.
put in hours.
That's why.
And then learn how to sew. Like, there's more behind just someone, dressing someone, right? As you make it by hand, there's multiple people, there's stitching, there's fittings, and sometimes it just does not work. Right, or you thought that they were this way and it doesn't sit right, doesn't lay right, the fabric's right. So the appreciation, I think, that wardrobe does not have in accordance to, it's so common for people to be like, oh yeah, here, makeup, make me look pretty, or make me like prosthetics, but they don't really pay attention to how much that without what they're wearing, this doesn't make sense. The lines that they're saying is the location, you look, you know what I mean? The clothes, well then again, I but so I think
I love this, by the way. Oh my God,
thank you.
This is like, oh my God, it's
I feel like she's like gonna love it. And so I was like, it's like the vibe.
I'm like,
But with that being said, like, I think with the Oscars, you see a lot of like Oscar for best, wardrobe, costume design, whatever. Is there one particular film that you, either past or present, that really stuck out to you, that you just like, oh my God, that wardrobe was just...
Space Wars, Quest for the Deep Star. Because there were so many things, I call them gifts from the universe. Oh my God, I can't even tell you. Oh wow. That I had just grabbed, I was at Savers here in Vegas, which has amazing things. I don't know. Sometimes I go in there with this thought, like, okay, I need this or this specific thing, and I'll find it. I'm like, whoa, that's amazing.
Right.
Gift from the universe, right?
Right.
So, like Michael Pare, there was these khaki pants, and I didn't even see what size they were. I'm like, oh, okay. I just grabbed them, and they fit him perfectly. Same thing with Sarah French, like these pants. Okay, she wanted to wear this black khaki, like black pants with a white tank top, and I'm like, well, I have something a little more unique. So her and Tyler met me at Gato Statian's house, and I got all this stuff that in my wardrobe and stuff that I had bought, and these army green pants with they had cutouts on the sides. They're really cool, and I don't know, it's just some black, I don't know what you call them, like tags or whatever. They're hanging, and anything that has like movement with things that are hanging, like a fringe or whatever. When you move, then they move.
Right.
Yeah. And I learned that in the dance business, and they look really good on film. So she was kind of fighting it, and I'm like, well, just try them on for a lark, whatever, and just to see. And they fit her perfectly. Oh my God. It's like gift from the universe.
Yeah.
And she looked in the mirror and she goes, oh, damn you.
Yeah, see? It's always, you can have the eye. Sometimes you have to trust the designer, or you trust wardrobe, because they see things that an actor or the person, or if they're styling, can't. Because like it's up here, and it's kind of how I am with styling. When people ask, I'm sure when you shop by yourself, like, what do you look for? What would you wear with this? And you already know. When you see an item, you're going through a catalog. I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh my God. I call it the catalog of my brand.
Catalog, and you're like, yes, I could do this, that one, right?
Yeah.
It happens like this, and no one understands that. But I mean, wardrobe, I'm sure they go through.
Yeah,
that.
and I have a very visual mind, so a lot of times it's trying to get that vision from here to express to either the actor or director or whatever. And because they're like set on one thing, and sometimes it takes like, let me draw this for you, let me try to explain this or whatever.
And they're just like, and you're just like, please just trust me.
Yes,
Or like, why does the sleeve have to be that? I'm like, it has to be the puff. It can't be a butt. You know what I mean? Every little detail changes. Like, for some reason, the movie that comes into mind was the one that just won the Academy Award, Poor Things, right?
Oh my God, Poor Things!
The wardrobe. You see a lot about this film, whatever. But to
Amazing.
me, the
Oh my God.
wardrobe was amazing. And it wasn't even just that, like, I would wear that, but, like, it also made so much sense to a movie that meant no sense at all, but made sense at the same time.
Girl.
But it was the same
For you to
thing.
mention that particular film, oh my God. Get from the universe.
Yes, I was the whole time I was like, I have to bring it up. Let's see if she brings it up. If I don't think
I was going to like,
other things for me, like Oscar, no Oscar. To me, for some like that movie alone, and there people are like they're selling the cosplay versions of Emma Stone's character Bella, and she wears certain things, and I was just like, and it made so much sense. But you don't know how it makes sense. But I could walk in and wear that, and no one would be like, "Oh, that's so cool." But in that movie, that made no sense. It made sense, but like, right? Like it just, and that's the point. I think it makes you think, and it just.
So
Yeah.
our partner Chris Ross Leone, so him and Paul and I are forming our own production company, and we're going to be creating our own epic shit.
See, this is what I'm saying. They're the type that's like, it seems so cool, so let's just like do it.
Not like anything ever seen
Yeah.
before. So we are going to create even our own genre,
As you should.
and that's the fun of it.
Maria's been audible this whole time. She's so into it. She's like, like it's amazing.
I'm so excited about this. I can't tell you.
Because I also saw, doing my research on you, like that you're also trying to produce and write, and I'm sure the brain, like, as a true artist, it's always going, right? Especially as a dancer, as a choreographer, I'm sure, you're just creating things. And so I was going to lead to that question, and you answered it for me, is that you're working on not only now starring and working on other people's films, but you are creating your own stuff,
Yes.
right? Is
Yeah.
that where you're headed? Is that what you would like to do? Or?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. I was a dance director in the dance business and choreographed and directed 9 shows and traveled around. It was quite amazing. I taught at UNLV, the ballroom dance program. I was a judge at the Dance Sport Olympics, so that was really exciting. So directing, I'm always directing. Just it's natural for me. So that's what I want to do.
Okay.
Yeah. So Paul and I started writing a couple of years ago, just some interesting, short films and some feature length. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
For us to create something out of nothing, right?
Yeah.
That's never been seen before. And with the wardrobe, oh my God, Poor Things. Like I said, Chris Ross Leone, he said, you need to watch this. And then we watched the background of it, and I related to her so much. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because, oh my God, I felt like I was just born old. and when Emma Stone, when she portrayed that, she was real. When she discovered herself, just along the way. And then other people like, oh, you can't behave that way. Oh, you can't do that in society, whatever,
Right,
my
right.
God, yeah. And she's like, why not?
No, she was like so outright.
I'm like, why not? And I relate to that so much. Because people try to keep you in a box. They try to keep you down. Oh, you can't wear that. You can't do this. I'm like, why not?
Right, exactly.
You remember Animal House?
Yes.
Right, John Belushi. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's the
very
thing.
True. And she made it happen, and she ended up still being successful in the end, and she still, came out victor in my eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many interpretations you can take from the movie, right? And it's open to that. But I think in my eyes, I'm like, okay, yeah, and what? If she did that, and what? Right? and she still stayed true to herself, and I don't know why.
That's it.
That's
Stay
not,
true
yeah.
to
And
yourself.
she still came out victor, and all those whatever, just, and she still sat there like, right? Like at the end, that was like the end scene. She's sitting there with all her.
Change that guy to a
It's all,
goat.
like exactly, like you know what I mean. It was absolutely, you know.
It's like, oh, you're gonna keep me down. I'm gonna turn you into
Yeah,
a goat.
and then there she was. She's still sitting there, like pinky up with her tea in the garden,
Hell
her
yeah.
mansion, right? As
Oh,
it should
God.
be.
That
Yeah.
exactly. So the message is to stay true to yourself. Like truly be who you are. No apologies. Don't let anyone take you down or put you in a box.
Right, absolutely. Because look what in the movie, look what she did when she tried to go back to herself, that tried to put herself in a box before she was reborn. She found out why, and she's like,
No.
fine.
No, hell no.
Exactly. So, and now we know, so you're going more towards the thing of directing. What is success like for you? Where do you want to end up? I'm sure with Paul. And then are you looking towards the stars? Or are you looking towards, do you love indie life? You know, it's up to interpretation. To you, what do you truly, where do you want to be?
Yeah, success is a journey, an adventure. That is success to me, to us. It's all an adventure, and it's not a big house. It's not a car. It's not anything physical like that. It's creating, constantly creating, and that is success. And being true to yourself.
Yeah.
Because, oh my God, I had a very abusive, kept down childhood, and I did not speak for a long time. I just walked around looking at my shoes, looking at my feet. When I started in ballet when I was 7 years old, I found my voice. I started to find my voice. The teacher said, hey, look at me. Put your head up. And I did, and I looked at her, and she goes, don't ever put your head down ever again. Don't let anyone ever do that to you again. So I found my voice in that. And then a couple of years ago, I ended up teaching ballet to young girls. And I said the same thing, like, don't let anyone ever put you down. Like, you matter. You are important. You're a girl, and that's important.
And I think what's beautiful about that is you continue to carry that narrative and you don't brush it off regardless of what comes your way. And I think a lot of people need to hear things like this because so much, right? It brings us right back to what we were talking about. So much is trying to make you less than to push them up, right?
Yeah.
And how do you go about making sure that you're going to be a change in that way? Just like that ballet teacher was a change to you, in my mind, that she did. She made a huge change because if that didn't happen, maybe you would be here sitting here now, right?
Yes, absolutely.
How do you believe you can be that change within the industry with that toxicity and that drama that we talk about? Because I'm sure you don't want to keep that the same way, just as much as I don't. What do you want to contribute to, and how are you going to actively do that?
Well, that's one thing Chris Ross Leon is encouraging me to write that story. He's like, oh my God, use that. I was in a brutal car accident in end of 2001, and 15 years of my life were stolen. I couldn't walk for 3 years. And to a dancer, that's like death. I got a part on Broadway before that happened, and the car accident wiped me out. And I did not want to live for a long time after that. But something in me said, hey, hang on. So I went through years of surgeries and everything, and going back to Bowie. So in 2016, when he passed on to the next dimension, he struck me with a bolt of lightning and said, hey, are you going to slowly die? Or, you know, are you going to go out the way you want to? And I said, and I got mad. I'm like, it's like, hell no. I'm going to go out the way I want to, not slowly dying. That's bullshit. And I got back into the business. And ever since then, I've been just like, you know, forward, onward, upward. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he's been a big influence and continues to be a big influence in me.
And for those who might be more on the introverted side that you might, where it's harder for them to express themselves, what can you say to them that can kind of, because as an artist, you can't, it sucks because you have to be an introvert being an extrovert, right? And you find a way to be present as an extrovert for a little bit and then go back. So let's say someone can't, but you have. How do you navigate bringing that part out of you, even if it's just for that moment?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I am an introvert by nature. And, the dance business, the film industry, it helped me break out of myself, out of my head. And, yeah, what I say to, I mean, really, the top people, like De Niro, they are introverts. They're very shy. Yeah. But when they're on camera, they like let it all out, 100%. As Carl Buto said, my coach years ago, he said, it's kind of like stripping your clothes off when you're on camera and being naked, right? And you let your true self out and be vulnerable. Mm-hmm. And when they all cut, it's back to, okay, I want to be by myself. And yeah. So that's what I discovered about being an introvert in an extrovert industry.
Yeah. And it's okay to.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Absolutely.
don't have to be an extrovert to be an artist.
Yeah.
You know? And so, and thank you for sharing, a very vulnerable side of you. I always want to thank you for that. I don't want you to feel embarrassed or anything. I'm glad. I want to get this out of people because I want people to see the true versions of the guests on this show. And so the final question that I ask all my guests, right, because that kind of sums up you as a person in just maybe a sentence or even as word vomit if you don't know the answer, because I don't even know the answer sometimes to my own questions. Well, what is a philosophy that you live by?
It's a lot of Bowie's philosophy. A thing that really stood out that he said was, for creatives, anyone in the music, dance, film industry, he goes, if you feel comfortable and where you are, it's like, that's death for an artist. He said, okay, so you're in the water, right, in ocean. Your feet are touching the bottom. You're like, you're comfortable. Why don't you step out a little bit more until your feet don't touch the bottom? That's where you should be. Mm-hmm. That's my philosophy.
That's you. You're always testing new things. I know in your social media as well, every day is a new day. You're testing with new headshots, character shots, new makeup, new outfits, a new character, and you're not afraid to just show those all on social media.
Like I said, ugly me up. I don't care. I love playing different characters. Oh, that's the other thing with Lon Chaney was the Man of a Thousand Faces. He was the original Phantom of the Opera, which I think is still the best.
Oh, it's one of the best ones.
Oh my God, right?
Yeah. Ramin Karimou, I think, was my favorite. One of my favorites.
Oh, we gotta talk. Because, the silent films, right? Up until because
musical theater.
Yeah. And our friend Chris understands that. He said, I've always said dancing is like a silent movie, right? And he said film, like the dialogue is the last thing. He said it's like a silent movie. I'm like, yes, that's it. So Lon Chaney being a man of 1,000 faces, I said, well, I want to be a woman of 1,001 faces. See, Lon Chaney?
And I believe. I believe if anyone's going to do that, it's going to be her. And I love that because I love how true you are and how unapologetic, I think that's a great word, to yourself that you are, because it is what it is. You're not looking for validation. You do it because you can.
I do it for myself, and really, like, when people compare whatever, myself, I am my competition, myself, not anyone else.
Right.
Like, how can I be better each day?
If I'm worried about the next person.
And that's true freedom, Like, really, don't care what other people think about you. You just do it because you love to do it, and you do it for yourself, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And don't let anyone take you down. Especially women. Oh my God, girls. Don't let anyone put you in a box, take you down. Just bullshit.
Yeah.
Be yourself. Rise to the top.
I love that. Thank you so much for being here. Please tell everyone where they can follow you and where they can see your upcoming works and et cetera, if they want to inquire about you being on their movie.
Well, you're just gonna have to research and find me.
Oh yeah, as you should. I did it. You can do it. We all got internet these days.
So I'm just not telling. You just have to find it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not hard.
If you want to,
You
if
really
not,
want
it's
to.
cool
If not,
too.
it's cool. It's amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here and being so open and vulnerable with us and
Oh my
telling your
God,
story.
darling, you are so lovely, and you are definitely an amazing person.
Oh, thank you. So much about you too. I was so glad you finally were able to come on the show. I know it's been multiple times I've been trying to get you. And now we're here and we get you and Paul, and then the whole energy of the room did a 180 when you guys walked in. So thank you so much. And that is Joanna Heckman, everyone. A round of applause. Please support her and just look out for her and just watch and wait and see. Whether
Or not, it's cool.
or not. But I should probably just be popping up, which I love. But when we come back, we'll have our closing monologue, and then that'll be it for this fabulous Wednesday. So see you after this break.
Now on digital and DVD.
Hit it.
Space Wars Quest for the Deep Star is an epic sci-fi adventure.
Do what needs to be done.
An edge-of-your-seat wild ride.
We have company.
Tons of popcorn-munching fun. 5 stars. A love letter to the sci-fi films of the 70s and 80s. With plenty of action and fun for all. You need to see it. You really do.
The captain just decided it's time to go.
I am ready for a sequel. Experience a bold new adventure. Space Wars Quest for the Deep Star.
A good old-fashioned adventure.
Now on digital and DVD.
Hi, I'm Deacon T with Modern Word Ministries. It's great to be with you today. Just a short little promo for our show. Every Sunday morning we have service, and you can follow us at 10 a.m. Pacific Time on modernwordministries.org. And if you missed us or you want to see some of our older messages, go ahead and check us out on socialmediashows.com every single morning at 9 a.m. It's a great way to kick off your day, get a little bit of the word in you, get something uplifting, get you started off on your way. If you're looking for prayer or you need some help, reach out to us. If you go to our website, again, that's modernwordministries.org, you can interact with me via telephone, via DM, text message, whatever you want. I'll get right back to you. So if you need prayer, you need help, you just need somebody to talk to, Modern Word Ministries is here for you. We are your church in the community. So until you see you next time, be blessed, everybody. Bye-bye.
Hi guys, and welcome back to The Hot Seat. I'm your host, Priscilla Moy. I hope you enjoyed this amazing, amazing, amazing show. It definitely was a little unexpected and brought so many different energies than we've seen in other shows prior. But I hope, as always, you can take everything that you watch here and meet these different people, and it inspires you at home, whether it is whatever you want to do, whether it's business, whether it's in the arts, whether it's backstage, whether it's entrepreneurship, or producing or hosting, whatever it is. I hope that the people here and their stories really hit you right at home. So a few announcements, like we've been talking about, as always, we do have castings for the Hot Seat. I know a lot of people are always asking, how can I get on the show? How can I get on the show? We have many shows in this network, and not just mine, but if you are inquiring about a certain show, please email your bio and your headshot, and please specify which show you want to be on. Do all of that to this email address, admin@socialmediashows.com, and that will be submitted to production, and then they will go through a casting process. Please be patient with that, as there's many emails that come through every second of every hour. And if you don't hear back, please give us a little more time, but please know that this is a casting, and this is not a guaranteed spot. This is not a promised spot. This is not anything, and so please please, please, please understand that, and to know that there are certain standards that we do hold for you to sit on the hot seat. And then also we do red carpets, whether that's for film festivals, movie premieres, even grand openings of places. If you want that live footage and a host on site to interview whoever it is, there, whether it's cast members, whether it's the director, whether it's a writer, whether it's people coming from out of state, whether it's whatever, politicians, any type of event in town, you can hire us, you can hire the team here at Social Media Shows, and then we will come out there with all of our equipment and a red carpet, and it will stream live in real time. You don't necessarily have to have me as your host, even though I would hope that you would choose me. But there are many hosts that would be up for the job, that would be able to go out and make that experience something worthwhile. You'd be able to air it all over the world, and all the people that know Social Media Shows, and you can highlight what's going on live in real time. You do not have to wait for the file and an edited copy of the red carpet to be handed to you for you to post that on your social media. So everyone can watch it, they can see what's happening, they can, be in the know and kind of help promote you as well. So with that being said, that email is also going to be admin@socialmediashows.com. You can inquire about prices, rates, whether or not we can go out of state, whether it's in state, just all that information. If you want to know that, you can hit up production and then we can discuss those details with you. We are already booked for many, so please keep on the lookout if you want to see what that might be like. We do have other red carpets that we have done that you can go back on the website or on our Facebook, our YouTube. Socialmediashows.com is the website that you can go back and look at previous red carpet events and film festivals to see the format of those. So just take a little gander and then give us a little call, and then we can be right there highlighting your event. So that is all I have for you today, this Wednesday. It's been a little long, but I hope you guys had fun. We all had fun here in the studio, so I know that you guys are sitting there at home having fun by yourselves and laughing along right there with us. We do appreciate your likes, your comments, your support, your shares. Please continue to support us here at Social Media Shows here in Las Vegas, and I will see you next Wednesday at 3 p.m.